Hello and welcome back to the Stacey West YouTube channel, and welcome back to another preview. We are facing another Premier League side. It seems to be happening quite often at the minute in different cup competitions. At least once a season for the past 4 or 5 seasons we've had a Premier League side, and this season's Premier League side is Sheffield United. So to join me and talk about all things Sheffield, I'm joined by Chad from the Red Half of Sheffield. How are we doing, Chad?
Oh, not bad, not bad. Just off the back of a, how do you say, rough defeat. Not a way you want to end a game against the treble-winning champions, and it's 2 match days in a row where we've lost in the 88th minute. So if anybody in the 92 has worse luck than we do at the moment, I would rival them with that.
Well, there is that. You are really having it quite tough at the minute. For those that aren't quite sure what it is we're talking about, we are recording this Sunday afternoon. It'll be out on YouTube Sunday afternoon, so you may be watching it right now anyway. But Sheffield United played against Manchester City today. So they have gone from one top-level City side to another in Lincoln. You kind of touched there, Chad, on a bit of a rough start, an 89th minute loss this week, or an 88th minute loss this week. I do apologise. Or an 89th minute loss last Friday night. Is that kind of symbolic of the whole season? Is it been quite a poor start so far? Obviously, touching on pre-season as well, considering it were only a few games in. But has it been quite a poor season, or just that you've played well but been unlucky?
Now, I'll preface this question 2 ways. We, after we got promoted from the championship, going up, having our best player, Ilman and I, having probably our second best player in Sanderberg, or Burge, however you say it. He can piss off anyway. Then we start preseason and start off okay. We knew that the lack for goals was going to be there, and then it starts bubbling up. Ilman and I, is he going to stay? Is he going to go? For 3 weeks to a month, we played this, is he or isn't he, isn't he, isn't he, he is, blah, 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 blah. Then he finally goes and pisses off to Marseille, to which he wanted to play Champions League football, and they're already out of the Champions League, so he should just stay with us. But so we cash that deal in, and it divides the fan base, and then Sanderberg goes, and that even more divides the fan base. Then we bring in a bunch of players that no one's really heard about. Slimani, Anis Slimani, Ben Traore, Vinicius Souza, and everybody's scratching their head and we're not investing in any strikers. Ollie McBurney gets hurt. He did make a cameo appearance today against Man City. So then it leaves our team very short in numbers. We did just recently, last week, prior to the Nottingham Forest game, signed Gustavo Hamo. I always call him that, Hamer, from Coventry City. Yeah. And then
a good player.
A great player. He actually scored in his debut for United last week against Forest. And then this morning, early morning, prior to this game, they announced Cameron Archer on a permanent / not really permanent, depending on if we get relegated or not. So he comes in to bolster our striking room. Now, Palace, we were miles off, and we honestly lost that 1-0. Could have lost it 5-0. To be fair, we were a couple of chances away from actually getting something out of that. The Forest game, as you alluded to, Forest scored within the first 3 minutes of the game, then went, and we were the better team leading into the end of the first half, and then coming out of halftime, got the goal, leveled it up, and then Chris Wood has a goal that I guess we didn't want to defend, lose 2-1. And then we played the champions, and they go, if you want to think somebody had some money on Erling Haaland missing that pen, you probably would have cashed out. And then City get their goal, and then United honestly had a good spell go and get their goal, and then 88th minute comes and we concede again to an absolute piss missile of a goal from Rodri, and we lose. So not the best start for United, but if you ask everybody leading into this, we don't belong in this league. We're right now, we are a championship side playing in the Prem. I wouldn't even say right now if we're in the championship, I think we'd be probably about 18th to 24th. I don't think we'd be very good in that league. Look at Middlesbrough scoring. I don't think the team that we have right now isn't top half championship. I'll put it right now. As of time of recording, we're bottom half championship side because we're so far off. But as I tell a lot of people in our podcast, and we've almost all got to this, we've come to this reality. Like our side now is not going to be the side that finishes the season. We're probably going to improve. We still have 2 Premier League loans that we can bring in. Hopefully one of them being James McAtee, maybe Tommy Doyle, his counterpart. Maybe we just splash on those 2 city boys and bring them in. Who knows? I have no idea. But this team is going to change and evolve. And I look more so past this Lincoln City game, and I look more towards next weekend where we have Everton in the lunchtime kickoff. Because that, as it being the 4th game in the season, it's a relegation 6-pointer, any way you look at it.
Yeah, no, it's something that I very much mentioned to you before recording and when we were talking earlier. That Everton game is probably more sort of important. And realistically, for those that haven't noticed, obviously Sheffield United play today. We play our game on Wednesday night, and then Sheffield United play again on Saturday lunchtime. So, I mean, in terms of turnaround, there's it's a very, very quick turnaround. So do you think that's going to affect the level of squad that you put out?
I think it will affect the squad on Wednesday, certainly. But honestly, there are some players that we've got to get some fitness in, and we've got to have a little bit of squad rotation. And plus, we don't have Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp. Like,
we play at lunchtime. We played late on Wednesday, and then we play early kickoff on lunchtime Saturday. Not good for Big Six clubs. But we're the
was that a Jurgen Klopp impression or a Pep Guardiola? Was that just a mixture of both?
Yeah, it was a mix of both. It's we're the minnows in this league, and we all know it. And the whole thing is if we gripe about it, no one lays an ear on it. But if Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Newcastle, if any of their managers say, "Oh well, this is unjust. You're making us play. Our squad is not deep enough," then the FA and the Premier like, "Oh, you know what? Well, we'll grant you guys. We'll move this fixture. We'll move one of your fixtures further down the road, and so you guys we won't put too much strenuous strains on your fixture congestion. Sorry, we're sorry, but Sheffield United." Serve it up. Let's play a game every 2 days. Come on, you guys. What are you telling me? You don't have the squad depth? Come on, no one wants to hear that. I'm sick and tired of this league. I hate this league. I want to be back in the championship.
Well, I don't think you'll be waiting too long for that.
35 more games.
So to kind of look ahead to Wednesday, obviously you've spoken sort of rather pessimistically, shall we say, about the team at the minute. What do you think the chances are on Saturday, on Wednesday? Are you expecting to? Okay, yes, still you may not be a struggling side, but you can still beat a League One side. Are you expecting to be able to comfortably dispatch us, or are you expecting a really good game?
No, I think with the amount of rotation that United are going to have. I think that it's one of those games where I've been touting this as our last preseason game in the season. The season really starts against Everton. We should have got something out of probably all 3. I mean, honestly, out of the first 3 games, we're really unlucky to be sitting on 0 points in the league. Yeah. But I think Wednesday we're going to have a bit of rotation. It's going to be a change side, not to have as much cohesion. And I think that if you guys put out truly a strong side, or you guys might even rotate. If you guys put out your strongest side, you might go and be able to beat us 1-0, 2-0. But at the end of the day, I think this ends up either 1-1 or 0-0, and you guys take it on pens. I just don't think United want to be in this nobody cares cup. I mean, we bowed out at this time last year against West Brom. And so we don't make cup runs deep in this cup run. We save them usually for the FA Cup.
Well, we speak a lot on our podcast about sort of the importance of the different cup competitions and the importance of them for sort of lower level EFL teams in League One, League Two. And I can't argue with what you've said. Quite frankly, this is, in terms of financially for the club, this is the lowest of the three. Even below the Papa John's Trophy, if it's still called that. It may have been changed. I'm not even sure what the sponsorship is for this year. But yeah, it probably sits below that because money-wise, look, we've got an away game at Bramall Lane. We'll have a share of the gate receipts. We'll get some kind of money. But I know last season we had a really good run where we ended up playing Southampton in the fourth round. I believe it was the fourth round. And I was talking to somebody at the club, and because we got knocked out in the first round of the FA Cup, we're actually below what our projected sort of budget was in terms of incomings for cup money. And that was with going to a Premier League side in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup after beating a Championship side and after beating two other EFL sides.
Yeah.
So yeah, realistically, this club doesn't. This cup, doesn't actually mean that much to too many people. But saying that, going away to a Premier League stadium, when we're taking almost 3,000 fans, we're going to want to win, and we are going to come at you. And it's something that we spoke about earlier on. We're going to want this. We're going to see this as a winnable game, and you see this as a losable game. Again, that you guys actually could bow out the competition to us. So all things point to the fact that we could very much give you a solid game. So just kind of on that then, how are we expecting you guys to kind of line up on Wednesday in terms of formation and that? What kind of system do you play?
We usually play a 3-5-2 is kind of our normal setup. Now we play in the Prem. We've got to, if we're getting battered, we got to go to a back four. But usually we play the back three, and then we have a midfield five with overlapping wing backs, and then they'll give support to our strikers. But at the minute, they ain't doing a damn thing.
Well, in all fairness, when you've got Will Asula, who struggles to get into Derby's League One squad, and he's starting every game in the Premier League for you at the minute, no offense to Will Asula or any of the other players, but it's not really the level that you're going to want to be playing at. And I've got my notes sat right next to me. So when the draw came out, we had a podcast the day after, and I just wrote down a few notes about the draw. And Sheffield United away, it'll be a really good day out. Regardless, it's actually a chance for us to be able to get a win away at you guys. Talking about sort of your transfer window and all of this. And one of the notes I see it right here. One of the notes I actually made was, if they're not out on loan, we could see Asula and or Jefferson starting. And Daniel Jefferson's injured, I do believe, isn't he? But Will Asula, it was a sort of reserve level player that we expected may come in as a rotation option for the game. That's obviously not really been the case. So it's going to be a really interesting lineup that you guys put out anyway.
Oh yeah, See, it's so hard with these cup competitions. We could. With Ollie McBurney coming back, we could put him up there to get a few minutes. Cameron Archer, maybe. I just think you save those guys for the weekend. Have Will Asula run up there like a baby deer. Him and Chris Basham in midfield. Of all the places we're playing, Chris Basham is in midfield. And then Benai Traore, he is so god awful. I don't even think he could get in your League One side. I mean, it's just
was it him who should have just crossed it in that one of those last minutes, and he just took a stupid shot when there was three people lurking far post.
Yeah, he's just, and it's no offense to you guys being in League One. I just don't think Ben Traore playing in the wherever the hell he came from, Danish league or Swedish league, and playing at Hacken. Just to the that league is probably in rival comparison with maybe the bottom half of the championship, top half of League One. You don't have the best players coming out of that league. I mean, honestly, they get one spot for Champions League and they have to go through the qualifying group stage. So that should tell you right where they fall in the pecking order. But it's just the striker room is we don't need to be starting Osua and Traore up front. It's just they're the only two that we have left because Brewster, he's been out for almost a year because as soon as you touch him, his legs fall off. McBurney picked up an injury in preseason. Jebison got injured in training in preseason, and it's just like Cameron Archer will probably come in and then he'll play 2 games and he'll be sat on the bench for the rest of the season with an injury. So it's just the injury bug.
Yeah, it's not really the best position for you guys to be in, and realistically, it's the best time of the season for us to be playing you. You know, I'd much prefer to be having this as the draw for this game than the third round of the FA Cup, because you'd have definitely been able to give a much stronger, much stronger competition. Not that you're a weak competition now. You know, it's still very, very strong competition, but you'd be a lot. We wouldn't be talking about it as a winnable game. Let's have it that way.
Yeah.
So. You sort of you alluded to penalties, but I have to ask, and I have to no sitting on the fence. Score prediction: what is the final score come Wednesday, 10:30 in the evening or whatever?
I think it finishes 1-1. Lincoln City win. Let's go 11-10 on penalties. Just some crazy.
Some of us will want to get home by midnight,
Yeah, I know, right? It's like I just think it's either 1-1 or 0-0, and you guys take it on penalties. Because as I alluded to earlier, we haven't taken a penalty since Millwall away or Millwall at home last August when we were still in the championship. We aren't very good at penalties, so we will struggle there. So I think you guys will take it on the night.
Well, I'm going to go for a 2-1. And it's going to be an away victory. It's going to be for us. I think a 2-1 victory. Again, it may just be some kind of misguided optimism that's thinking that, but I think the combination of the fact that we're looking quite good at the minute, the combination of the fact that you guys are clearly struggling and not exactly in the best space of it, the fact you probably don't even want to be in the competition. I'm going for a 2-1 away victory. Although I also wouldn't be surprised if it was a 2-1 home victory. So 2-1, but I'm going for away. Honestly, thank you so much, Chad, for coming on. Really good luck for the rest of the season. And I kind of hope that we are playing you in the Championship next season, seeing as you hate you frigging hate the Prem.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So and hopefully we can be playing you in the Championship next season, and we can do this whole preview again in 12 months' time.
Hopefully.
Please make sure, guys, to go and check out the Red Half of Sheffield. That was the name I'm looking for. Go check out their YouTube channel. Me and Chad did record something for that YouTube literally 10 minutes before we started on here. Go and check out the podcast. We recorded the podcast today for those of you that haven't seen that one yet. Also, we are now coming up to the end of the month, so the monthly show will be coming out within the next week. Can't give an exact date on that because we are all very, very busy, but we are working our hardest to get that out for you. And yes, obviously transfer deadline day is also coming up, so keep your eyes peeled for any kind of sneak previews or any kind of special content that comes out on deadline day. Again, Chad, thank you so much. Good luck for the rest of the season, and up the Imps.